Prime Minister Mark Carney headed into the weekend with his first news conference since his Liberals won a minority government mandate in Monday's election. He told reporters that MPs will be back in the House of Commons on May 26th, and until then, he has a bit of a to-do list on his plate. Here's a look at 5 things the Prime Minister will have in the weeks and months ahead. The Prime Minister has said repeatedly that Canada's old relationship with the United States is over, and so this meeting with the President is really about carving a path forward in the trade war between the two countries. Carney said on Friday that he expects his meeting with Trump to be, quote, difficult but constructive, unquote. The two have spoken by phone already, where Trump seemed to tone down his talk of annexing Canada during the election campaign, while Trump often mocked former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, referring to him as the Governor of Canada. He's yet to use that same language with Carney. After winning the Liberal leadership in March, Carney swiftly appointed 23 MPs to his cabinet, not including himself. It was smaller than Trudeau's last team, and Carney wouldn't say on Friday whether his post-election cabinet would be larger. Carney revealed on Friday that King Charles will deliver the throne speech when Parliament resumes, something that hasn't been done by a royal in almost half a century. The throne speech is written by the Prime Minister and his team and lays out the government's plans and priorities. It's usually read by the Governor-General, but Queen Elizabeth was the last monarch to do it back in 1977. One person who isn't in the House is Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, at least not yet. On Friday, incumbent Conservative MP Damien Carrick announced he will step aside from his seat in Battle River Crowfoot to let Poilievre run in the Alberta riding. That means Carney will have to call a by-election, and while technically he doesn't have to call one for a year to replace the vacant seat, Carney told reporters on Friday he isn't playing any games with it and will ensure the by-election happens as soon as possible. At the very least, the government will need to introduce supply bills to get money flowing to departments. The last supplementary estimates bill was passed in November. Now, Carney ran on a platform of aggressive capital spending, and the party projected nearly $225 billion in deficits over 4 years. The party's plan includes $130 billion in new spending measures, but Carney reiterated on Friday his intention is to slow the rate of growth in government operations costs, calling the 9% annual increase in spending in recent years unsustainable and promising to bring that down to 2%. He said he'll do that without cutting transfers to provinces or individuals. It's a pledge he made before the election campaign when he hosted a meeting with the country's premiers in Ottawa and vowed to table legislation by July 1st to allow goods to travel across the country barrier-free. In March, he also said his government would remove labor mobility restrictions in federally regulated professions and eliminate duplication by recognizing provincial assessments for major projects. Now, since the trade war began with the United States, most of Canada's premiers have been pushing Ottawa in this direction. They argue that more free trade allows Canada to bolster its economy by opening up more domestic markets. And that's a look into Prime Minister Mark Carney's to-do list over the next few weeks and months. From the Canadian Press in Ottawa, I'm Nick Murray.